It's not your birthday, or if it is, I wasn't invited to your party, but I brought you a surprise anyway. A trashy streamer who hit a pedestrian whilst driving distracted and most likely high out of her mind. And she's not a Kick streamer. I know, right? Kick right now is probably just wiping sweat from their brow like, whew, finally. A crime that was streamed that wasn't on our platform, pumping their fist in the office, shaking each other's hands like they won the Super Bowl. She is a YouTube streamer, so let the celebrations commence at Kick. The Gatorade showers are probably in full effect over there. She streams on YouTube, and from what I can tell, and I've only gone through like 3 of her streams, her entire streams revolve around how degenerate she is. She's usually very fucking high. According to the community that watches her, she does meth pretty often before driving. She's always on her phone while driving. It's where all of her content takes place, so she's always looking at chat, getting donations, very distracted driving. And she also had an incident where she was doing Spark deliveries and giving groceries to a customer, and her dog is in the back seat with all of these groceries and ends up peeing on the chips and taking a shit on the other groceries with an entire worm that pops out of its ass like it's a scene out of Ozzy and Drix. And how does she respond to that? She wipes the worm off of the groceries and then still delivers them to the customer who had no idea. I'm going to show you both of these clips here. I'm going to start with where she hit a pedestrian yesterday.
Well, he does hear those voices. They're not fake, but I wonder sometimes. Oh my god, are you okay? No. What the fuck did you do? I didn't see her. Why are you not looking? I was looking. I didn't see you. What the fuck? I'm telling you, I did not see you. Okay. What the fuck? Just tell me how I can help. Well, I don't know. Okay. Okay. Oh my god, you guys. I don't know what just happened, but it wasn't good.
What do you mean you don't know what just happened? Are your eyes lagging? Is this a latency problem, like the ping's too bad so your eyes haven't caught up with what's going on here? Is your brain stuck in Narnia? You just hit a human being because you're too fucking busy talking to your stream. You're not paying attention to the road. What's actually surprising here is this is one of the few times in all the clips I've seen where she actually is looking forward as opposed to like looking elsewhere and looking at her phone, and yet somehow she still doesn't see that there's people in front of her and she hits one, and then I guess still can't make heads or tails of what just happened. It's craziness. You are distracted and driving. It's a recipe for disaster. Luckily, she didn't kill this person, I don't think. Now, she has been arrested in the past, but this I don't think she's faced anything from yet, because she still is streaming, like even after this incident, and she has changed nothing about her stream.
I plan on it. Can I park? All right, guys, here's your content for the day.
Ah, yes, the content of hitting a pedestrian. Top shelf shit. Thanks for delivering that. She's a menace. She is a danger to everyone around her. She should not be allowed to drive. Period. Full stop. From everything I've seen, she is not safe to be on the road. And she is certainly not safe to be doing fucking grocery deliveries.
No, get off of it, dude.
The worm that came out of the dog's ass has nothing on the worms that infest this lady's brain. A normal person would have seen what happened here, and it's not like she didn't know what happened. She literally cleaned off a fucking worm from the groceries, and they would have canceled the order. Because there's a level of decency with people where they wouldn't want to just fucking poison a stranger here, I don't think. At least, I'd like to believe that. But she's built a little different. She's constructed in an unorthodox manner. After wiping the worm from the groceries, she believed that everything was a-okay and primed for delivery. No mention at all to the customer about all the piss and shit on the groceries. Like, at the very least, you could say, like, hey, so my dog's in the car, and he kind of had, like, a field day with his bowels on your food, also his bladder. Just want to give you a fair warning in case you don't want to consume dog piss and shit. Just thought you should be aware of it. But no, she's like, hey, here's your groceries. Hey, have a good day. Bye-bye. Make sure to leave 5 stars. Appreciated. And then goes right back into her car to continue the stream. That is so foul and filthy. And it's criminal. Like, you can't contaminate people's food and not, like, at least warn them about the potential outbreak. Like, we could be dealing with, like, the goddamn T-virus that spawns from this when the lady eats the piss and shit-covered groceries. Like, it's so gross. It's so disgusting. Even the dog looks out the window and is probably just revolted, like, oh, jeez. Yoo-hoo, pardon. Oh, goodness, she's not going to deliver those groceries. I just shat on them. That would be so foul. Oh my god, she's doing it. No, oh, please, Jinkies. Jiminy Christmas, my god. My owner's a fucking Neanderthal. She's a goddamn idiot. Like, even the dog is looking out the window concerned. And to be honest, I'm concerned for the dog. The dog doesn't seem to be in great health if it's pooping worms in the car. Like, I'm worried for that dog now.
Abby always wins, sent $2. Can we talk about how Abby dropped the deuce on their groceries? She peed on chips. Is she okay? I think she needs to go out. Poop, 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 poop. Dog, 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 dog.
The chatters are also concerned about the dog after seeing that, and yet there's no mention at all about the customer who is going to unknowingly consume the dump doomsday that was just produced on top of their food. But luckily this streamer does have an answer to go ahead and calm everyone's fears about the food being ruined. I mean, it's just piss and shit. That doesn't ruin food, which she helps us understand.
So Abigail went out like 3 times today and she hasn't pooped, she's peed. Once at the vet, once before that, and then the nighttime, like 2 in a bag. It was not on anything else I checked. I removed it. All is well. That's what bags are for, right? To protect.
Hey pal, you just blow into Stupid Town? You can't really wipe piss away unless you have sponge hands, which I don't think you do. And also dog shit and worms on top of the grocery bags that the food is in. Like, there's no telling what made it through, especially since it sat there for a little bit before you came in there and apparently scraped it off. That's not exactly the optimal sanitization protocol. I'm just gonna go ahead and hit you with the cold water. You didn't get all of it. I promise you that much. But she clearly doesn't view it as a big deal, probably because she's smoking dog piss every day and then going live on YouTube here, which is just a danger to everyone around her. My heart breaks for anyone that gets a delivery done by this lady. That shit is probably rancid. Like, I bet everyone who... Like, you could probably, as an epidemiologist, track foodborne illness outbreaks relative to how many deliveries she's made in the area. And you'd find a pretty crazy correlation, would be my guess. Now, she has been arrested before in the past. I did a bit of a dive on her history. She is a very interesting specimen, to say the very least. But as of right now, I don't believe she's facing any legal repercussions from the delivering contaminated food to a customer or the hitting of a pedestrian. I don't see any updates on that, but those are still relatively new. So, I guess we'll see, but man, what an absolute trash bag of a person. This is some awful garbage here. So yeah, I had to talk about this a little bit. I was stunned when I saw these clips. That's it. See ya. Why do good girls like bad guys? Why do Twitch streamers like to take a shit and ruin their entire career in an instant? I don't have the answers to these questions. I'm not Socrates. All I know is a Twitch streamer yesterday by the name of Carl burned down his entire career in a matter of seconds. And I know hearing streaming and career in the same sentence is vomit-inducing to some. Makes you want to just spit. Gross. You know, I understand, because as far as careers go, streaming's one of the easier ones, also one of the safest from coronavirus. Wouldn't be surprised if the WHO starts recommending everyone stops going outside and just streaming League of Legends. But anyway, I get why some people are a bit repulsed by the idea of streaming being a career, but it's time to get with reality. It is. And to a lot of people, it's their entire lives, as it was for Carl. And yesterday, in just one brief split second, it all vanished, like the world's saddest magic trick. Let me show you the clip.
Bitch, say I ain't got money. Say I ain't got money. God damn. What the fuck?
This is what's commonly known as a negligent discharge of a firearm, or as we call it on the internet, a big fucking oopsie. Carl just executed a tub of G Fuel live on stream. I get not liking some of the flavors, but to just put it down like the fucking Punisher here is pretty hardcore. You're also probably wondering why he has his grandmother's slipper on his desk. It's because he was doing shoeies, so he was a bit drunk at the time. For anyone that doesn't know what a shoey is, you're too young to be around these parts, but I'll tell you anyway. It's when you pour the alcohol in a shoe and you drink it. It's pretty easy to comprehend, and it's pretty disgusting. It tastes like you're drinking beer out of a septic tank. It'd be better just to drink the beer out of your car's exhaust, at least then it wouldn't taste as fucking gross. But anyway, he was a bit inebriated, and he had his gun on standby just in case some rogue gamer assassins came to steal his V-Bucks, and unfortunately, the man prematurely ejaculated here and did a bit of a desk pop. It just absolutely blasted around through both his tub of G Fuel and a monitor, and luckily no one was hurt. It didn't go through the next room and take out anyone or anything like that, which is lucky, and he didn't kill himself with it, which is also lucky. So it definitely could have been a lot worse, but I do think this is a really good advertisement for whatever fucking microphone he's using, because that shit didn't even clip. It wasn't ear rapey, it was totally normalized. This man just blasted a gun in a very closed environment, and I could barely even hear it. It was barely even louder than his voice. That's shocking. Sometimes when I'm streaming at twitch.tv/moistcritical, I'll casually burp and it sounds like 3 frag grenades going off into the ears of anyone with headphones on. So I don't know what he's using, but this has actually convinced me that I probably need to pick that shit up. Another thing I'd like to point out is I think this actually serves as a really interesting case study into the mind of a Twitch streamer/YouTuber, because after this mistake he immediately gets into YouTube thumbnail position with the classic shock-faced Ali A style, you know, some of these. And then, you know, bubble text over it, this happened? How? And then the circle with the arrow pointing at it, at the gun while it's shooting, fucking blasting his coffee can and G Fuel shit. So, I think that's really impressive, that speed, to go from, just ruin my career, to, well, let's profit off that. Right into the thumbnail. So, hats off to him for that quick turnaround time, but goddamn, it actually did cost him everything. I'm not exaggerating. He got banned on Twitch, as you'd expect, for, you know, shooting a goddamn gun on it, and you can't even think about titties or ass on Twitch without getting banned, and this guy just fired a fucking gun live on stream, putting down a tub of G Fuel, which is a sin in and of itself. You knew he was getting banned there. He speed ran that. But he also got dropped from his professional gaming organization, Soar. Soar dropped him in a matter of hours. It was as if he shot that gun, and it traveled through the wall and hit the CEO. Their response time to that was crazy. They dropped him like a fucking potato immediately. Potato sacked the poor guy. Now, in response to all this, he accepted all responsibility, made an apology video on Twitter, which I have nothing against. It seemed like he understood the repercussions, and he believed he deserved them, and he's going to try to work on his firearm usage, I suppose. I don't know. Pretty much everything you could do wrong with a firearm, he did wrong. He did everything shy of pointing the gun at his own face to check if there was a bullet in it, so he really probably should get some tutoring there. Check out a YouTuber Reddit professional, perhaps, to give him some advice. But really, his apology video is pretty sound. I don't want to put the tinfoil condom on or anything, but how many of us think this could have been premeditated for publicity, huh? I mean, I kind of see it in his eyes. Like, why would he have his gun on his desk, right? Like, you know, I just saw John Wick. I'm going to let some lead fly tonight, get some people pretty energized. But then, damn, blasted my own G Fuel can. You know, it's possible. Unlikely, but I've seen a little speculation. I've also seen a lot of people talking about the punishment being too harsh, considering no one was injured. But I think it's a great lesson to everyone out there not to play with firearms while doing shoeies. Yeah, you know, maybe your parents did it and they're okay, but that doesn't mean you'll be as lucky. All in all, I have to say I really am wishing Carl the best moving forward. This was a mistake that cost him greatly. And I hope it's something he can bounce back from, because I do appreciate the way he handled the consequences. He really manned up, took the cock on the chin and said, you know what, I fucked up and I'm going to be better. And I believe he probably will be. So good luck to Carl moving forward, and let this be a very powerful lesson to everyone out there that guns are not a toy to fuck around with, especially not when you've been taking shoeies to the mouth for an hour. That's about it. So yeah. I just had a couple of friends send me a clip where Jack Doherty just crashed his McLaren on stream while reading chat or maybe texting on his phone. And I just cannot fight the urge to make fun of this goober again. Insulting Jack Doherty is a God-given right, and I would be a fool to deny that. I can't resist. It's like trying to hold in a sneeze. I just have to let it out. I have to clown on Jack Dorky. The most punchable face on the planet here belongs to our protagonist, Jack. He is right now driving his McLaren, and his cameraman is doing a great job for the insurance company here, showcasing that he is not doing his due diligence of being a safe driver. So, the clip starts with him staring at his phone, staring a fucking hole through it. I'm pretty sure he's reading the chat, though it is possible he's reading texts or replying to texts. Either way, though, he is distracted driving, and it's about to be a disaster.
Oh, fuck. No, watch out, watch out. Oh, fuck, open the door, open your door. We're locked in here. Holy shit.
This is clearly a case of Jack Doherty not paying any attention, leading to his car hydroplaning. Now, I know hydroplaning can happen to even the best drivers, which Jack Doherty is not. He is looking at his phone numerous times. We have the cameraman who's filming this like Cloverfield, and actually did a really good job of like showing us the monster. Every time we see him, it's like he's been hypnotized by his phone. He's like in a trance. He's a zombie behind the wheel. He was never paying attention to the road, even though it's raining out. And then he had the chutzpah to step on the gas. You can like hear him accelerate. And he's barely even lucid right now because he's too distracted by his phone, and that leads to it hydroplaning.
Holy shit. Holy fucking shit. Oh, Michael. Are you okay? Yeah. Holy fuck. Oh my god, bro. There's no fucking... Michael, here. Michael, do you have your film on that phone too?
His friend is clearly injured, bleeding from his head. He is fucking leaking. And Jack Doherty doesn't give a shit. He hands him the phone to keep filming for stream and then tells him to film on an additional phone as well to get multiple angles, I guess. He was trying to make like a 360-degree video out of it. I have no clue. Michael, shake it off for a second. Look, I know you might have a concussion. I know you're bleeding all over the place, but you have to remember, we're in the middle of content right now. So I'm gonna need you to get your act together, rub some dirt in it, and double fist these phones and film me, okay? I'm the superstar here, and I'm gonna put on a little bit of a show here for the content, okay? And if you're not alright with it, you're fired. You can take a hike. You can scram, Buster. Get out of town, okay? Like, if this is me, if I was Michael, that would show loud and clear Jack doesn't give a fuck about me. This little vermin is not a friend at all. He's a little content ghoul, a little goblin. I knew Jack Doherty was pathetic, but I had no idea he was this pitiful that this is considered content to him. Like, how can you possibly have so little shame? You just totaled your car with video evidence of you staring at your phone for most of your driving. And this car, like, fucking exploded like Humpty Dumpty here. The way, you'll see his car fully in a moment, it looks like when you drive backwards in a NASCAR game in the early 2000s. Like, he did a number on it, completely totaled it. It is a miracle that neither one of them are in a coffin right now. And instead of doing the sensible thing of stopping the stream and getting medical care to your friend who clearly needs it, he instead doubles down and wants even more footage of it, even though he looks like the biggest fucking idiot on the planet for this. An unlovable, unlikable, irredeemable loser.
Oh my god. My car is totaled, bro. Oh my god, this is cooked.
I don't even think he cares. I think this guy is so far gone. He's such a sociopath disconnected from reality. I actually think he's viewing this in his head as a positive thing. Like, oh, this is gonna be a lot of views. This is actually gonna be like really good for the brand. Like, it honestly seems like he's putting on a CW level acting performance. Oh, bro, this is cooked. No, it's busted. Once again, not even really asking his friend if he's okay at all. He asked him one question asking if he was good, and that was it. Immediately handed him the phone to keep filming, and then asked him to film additional content as well with the other one. Like, this guy, I don't believe has a soul left in his fucking body. And also, I would argue that this McLaren was totaled even before this accident because that paint job is a crime. That looks atrocious. It's like your grandma's polka dot wallpaper from the 70s. I don't know what that's even supposed to be. It looks like it was taken to a paintball tournament and used as cover. Maybe it was. Maybe that was the whole thing. But either way, that McLaren was living a sad life looking like that. And honestly, it might be for the best that it was put out of its misery. Because Jesus Christ, that is an awful, awful paint job on that vehicle. Definitely worth mentioning that he got banned for this. Kick actually banned him. I don't know if it's a permanent ban or not, but as of right now, his account is gone.
What's your name? My name is Jack. I was driving and then my tires just slipped and I lost control and then landed here. I was all the way on the left side and I just went there and then I don't know what happened. I just lost control and the next thing you know I'm just going tears. And I don't know what happened.
Yeah, no shit you don't know what happened because you weren't looking. You were buried on your phone, brother. This is probably the most honest thing I've ever heard pop out of this douchebag's mouth, and it's entirely accidental. Like, he is being honest. He doesn't know what happened. He didn't have his eyes on the fucking road at all. Though I do think it would be very important information to share with this officer, the video footage. I think they'd really like to take a peek at that, Jack. You love to promote your streams and everything. Why not let the officer take a peek at what happened right before the accident? I'm sure that would be really interesting in helping them figure out how this mysterious crash could have possibly taken place. This whole time, he still hasn't really checked on his friend at all, who is still bleeding profusely. And it's not until more authorities get there, as well as, like, medical personnel, that he even pretends to care, like, comes over and gives him a hug. But outside of that, he doesn't really care about Michael. And if that was me, I would 100% be suing Jack for that. He's made it clear as the fucking patches on my face where my beard doesn't grow that he does not care that I am injured and it's his fault. All he cares about is me filming him. So, fuck him. I would 100% be opening a case against Jack. There is video evidence of him texting and driving or reading chat while driving, just being distracted and causing this crash that has now injured me. So, I'd be coming for a little piece of that pie, because he is a piece of shit. I don't think Michael will do that, and I don't even know if it would be like a slam dunk case if he tried, but this would absolutely be where the friendship would stop, if that was me in this case. That shit is just so foul.
They want me to be back. They don't want me to be here.
For some reason that not even science can explain, Jack Doherty takes this as an opportunity to bust out the pepperonis here and get his shirt off. I don't understand why he likes to be shirtless so much when he has a body that's built like a bag of milk. I thought for like a split second maybe the medical personnel asked him to do that so they could check him for like abrasions or anything like that. But I don't think they did, because he did that like in the middle of a conversation with the authorities. And he does get into like the back of an ambulance to get examined, but from what I can hear and what I can tell, they never asked him to take his shirt off. Plus, they probably would have done that in the ambulance as opposed to just on the road. But I don't know for sure. Most of the time, Jack Doherty does have his shirt off for some reason, and not even totaling his McLaren and splitting his friend's face open is enough to stop him from doing that. That shirt's coming off, come hell or high water, it doesn't matter. And man, we are all the worse off for it. Like, Jesus Christ. Overall, though, it is very lucky that everyone else on the road was safe from Jack Doherty's negligent wrath here behind the wheel of the McLaren. He didn't hit any other vehicles from what I can see, and it's also very lucky that neither him nor his friend died from this. So, all things considered, he got very lucky with this crash, because it could have been a lot worse. Maybe this will be a wake-up call for him. I doubt it. I don't think he has the capability of actually learning and growing and evolving, but we'll see. That's about it. See ya. There's an expression called misery loves company, and today I realized that that's kind of like the philosophy of how I live my life. Whenever I see something that makes me upset, I share it with all of you. If I see something that's embarrassing or gross and yucky, I make sure all of you have to see it and experience it as well. If I have to be traumatized by turbo cringe, so does everybody else. I go full scorched earth, I salt the soil, making sure everyone also has to feel my agony. And I even do that in real life with my friends too. Like if I eat a piece of food that I'm a little concerned might not be fully cooked, like a little raw, and I get concerned about like a foodborne illness, I'll see if any of my friends will eat it too, so that way we can share in the sickness together, so I'm not alone. It's always met with a resounding no, and go fuck yourself, but I at least still do give the attempt. Point is, today I realized that I do that a lot, and I'm about to do it again. There is a trend of streamers that I've talked about quite a few times over the last few years that always make me infuriated. It is the distracted drivers streamers. I'm sure you've seen a lot of streams that take place in a car where a streamer is literally reading chat while driving. It is unbelievably dangerous, irresponsible, and just an absolute terrible thing to do. And I'm always surprised that there's not more huge accidents that occur as a result of it. It of course not only endangers their life, but the lives of all of the innocent people on the road around them, simply because the streamer can't fight the urge to look at chat to read Omega lol and look at ASCII art of some big tits. It's fucking stupid. Now it is bannable on Twitch. I'm not saying that they're flying under the radar and Twitch is doing nothing about it. When Twitch is made aware of a streamer that is clearly reading chat while driving, they do take action. Now that's not to say that all driving streams are prohibited, because they are still allowed as long as a passenger is the one that's reading chat, not the driver, so that way it's a little bit safer. But unfortunately, about once a month, there's some little worms that pop out from the shadow that decide to do a driving stream because they're the main character of life, they're the fucking protagonist, and everyone else on the road is just their props, so they'll hop in their car and just be reading chat the whole time from their phone, putting everyone around them at risk. And that brings us to my least favorite streamer on Twitch. I'm not going to say her name, but 3 days ago, she was streaming while driving, reading chat on her phone, and she ran over someone's dog. And I'm clearly not going to show you the actual running over the dog because it's very hard to watch and extremely hard to listen to because the animal is wailing in pain for like 45 seconds before the clip cuts off. It's fucking awful.
Stukło przed chwilą. Nie wierzę wtedy. Jezus, ile tu psów! Pewnie jakaś macieczkę.
It's at that moment she runs over somebody's pet because she was too busy reading chat on her phone. She even mentioned that there were a lot of dogs around and then still made the decision to constantly be reading fucking chat. And it's not like they were saying anything insightful. Like, you can see the chat right there on the screen. There's nothing that is urgent that she needs to be looking down for. It's not like some kind of fucking speed situation where she needs to be reading chat every X amount of seconds or the car's gonna blow up. She could have just not done that, and the person's pet would have probably not been hit. So this fucking clown here that's dressed like Curious George couldn't help but be reading her fucking chat and then ran over a dog. Clearly this made me very upset, so I wanted to share it with all of you so you'd also be upset. Good news is she did get banned for this, but I also think she should be facing criminal charges. Distracted driving, texting while driving, all of that. It's not a joke. Like, at all. And this is a step above texting and driving, I would argue. Because if you go back and watch her clips, she is staring at that phone for like fucking 5-10 seconds at a time. It's not even like she's just like doing one of these. Not that that's any better. But like she was like reading it as if she was like trying to get through a goddamn like Magic Treehouse book on her phone. You know, you would have thought that she was going over important legal documents with the amount of time she spent fucking reading her phone in the car while driving. Obviously, this situation gets me heated. I'm like a microwave with tinfoil in it right now. It is extremely upsetting to see this happen, and this is far from the only case of it. It's just the most recent. There's been plenty of car accidents from streamers reading chat, but usually it just involves them getting into single car accidents like this goofball here who crashed into a parking barrier while reading chat. I also remember seeing one on YouTube where a guy was arguing with someone in chat and then ran a stop sign and got T-boned by a fucking semi-truck. It looked like something out of a Final Destination movie. And to make it worse, he clearly lost the argument because he got hit by a fucking car while arguing. That's an instant L on that entire confrontation, so the chatter even walked away with the dub. It's not uncommon, it's not that rare. Somehow there's always these pathetic little worms, smooth-brained, stupid-head idiots that'll pop on a live stream and then just start reading chat while driving, and it leads to situations like this. And among all of these champions of Darwinism is my least favorite streamer, that lady I just showed you. She was a Polish streamer before she got banned for this, and hopefully she faces criminal charges for it as well. I definitely think that's appropriate, or at the very least, losing her license. I've always been very open and honest about my stance of drunk drivers and how there's absolutely no sympathy I feel for anyone drunk driving. I think the laws should absolutely slap the fuck out of them. Drunk driving has no excuse, and I feel the same about distracted driving when it's as blatant as this. It's been translated what she was saying, and she said, according to this, "Jesus, how many dogs are here?" And then after saying that, goes right back to looking at her phone. So she recognized that there were dogs around the area, and then still decided to read chat because she had got a little notification. That's like actual baby brain shit. It makes me question if she ever developed object permanence. She took notice of dogs around the area, and then assumed they vanished when she looked at her phone or something, like, oh, I can't see them anymore, they must have just fucking phased out of existence, and then she hits one. Like, that is some shit like out of a video game, when you critique, like, bad AI in a game. Like, when a guard sees you, he's like, oh, who is that? I see you over there. But then you, like, go into a tall bush, and he's like, must have been the wind. Like, that's her brain. Like, that must be, like, how her mind works. The second she can't see something, it ceases to exist. It's clearly very frustrating to me. And I just wanted to vent about this after seeing it today. I just wanted to share it with all of you so you could also be upset about it. And I just wanted to show you who my least favorite Twitch streamer is now. So, yeah, that's really about it. See ya. Boy howdy do I have some amazing news for you today. If you haven't been keeping up with the sad, pathetic tale of Johnny Somali, let me fill you in on the lore. I made a couple videos on him. Pretty much everyone on the internet has shot spitballs at him. He is probably the biggest loser and like the biggest communal urinal that people take turns peeing on. He's a nuisance streamer who travels around the world just getting his ass beat. He is literally like a piñata that gets delivered to different countries for the citizens to beat up and take some anger out on. Because he's a racist asshole who does his best to disrupt society and make everyone's lives around him miserable. So it's justified that people just beat his ass because he is just this miasma of cringe and just a general piece of shit. And he's so proud of it too. This is his Boy Scout badge of honor. He openly gloats about it.
So what do you want to talk about? Swing or not? Like, nigga gonna come up to me, bro, why you being racist to other people in other countries? For money. For clout. I've said it many times. I don't give a fuck. I have no morals. I'm a fucking sociopath.
You're not a sociopath. You're a dweeb. You're an embarrassing little weirdo. You're a tiny little rat that your community feeds some cheese to in order to enable you to keep entertaining them through getting your ass beat because you are a gluttonous knuckle sandwich magnet. I like that jelking Johnny tries to pretend that it's a little harder than it is, like, well, I'm just kind of a sociopath. You know, pumping out his chest, yeah, I do it all for money and clout. Because I'm a sociopath. No, you are not. You are a nerd. You are a pitiful dork who probably has third-degree burns up his butt crack because of all of the wedgies the rest of the world gives you every day. He's doing this in South Korea right now, or at least he was until he got arrested, where he is now facing up to 10 years in prison. This happened in Japan too, where ultimately he didn't get the book thrown at him. They kind of just slapped him on the wrist, gave him a little pat on the bottom, and then sent him on his way to get his ass beat in another country. But South Korea, things have been going a little bit differently for Johnny Somali because he is getting fucking spawn camped there. The South Koreans hate him. So anytime they see him, it's on sight. They are throwing hands, and it has been just such a joy to watch him just get fucking clocked every time he fires up a stream. He's like a Wobbuffet from Pokemon. He just keeps getting like slapped around but keeps coming back. But each time, unlike a Wobbuffet, he's taking more and more damage. So as his streams have progressed in South Korea, he's wearing more and more medical bandages because he has so many injuries. He's like Johnny from Ed, Edd n Eddy. Like, next time I see him on stream, I'll probably have like a fucking neck brace and like 2 casts on his arms. That's if he ever streams again, if he doesn't face the 10 years in prison. But before diving more into that, I'd like to just show you a highlight reel, a montage of my favorite moments of Johnny Somali just getting brutalized.
소만이 어디가?
Yes, sir.
어디 가냐고?
You guys following the crazy? Look at you. Yo, please.
Unfortunately, I had to cut out the satisfying clobbering that Johnny Somali received here. However, I can show you the aftermath. First, credit where credit is due. The beatdown was administered by this guy right here, who went on to say that the reason he did it is because of how disrespectful Johnny Somali is to all of South Korean culture. He is being extremely racist throughout all of South Korea, and people hate him there for it. For good reason. It's very clear why so many people in South Korea have been beating his ass when you see what he's been doing there for the last, I don't even know how long he's been there. But Johnny has been so bad there that he is being investigated by the government. He can't leave South Korea and will be facing potentially 10 years in prison with all of the new stuff that they have been looking into. This is the aftermath of Johnny Somali getting rocked, very unsteady on his feet, wobbling around, looking like he's ready to receive a Mortal Kombat fatality. Normally, I'm not one to celebrate a sucker punch, but in this case, that is probably the holiest, most justified sucker punch ever delivered. Like, that is just what the doctor ordered in this case. Johnny Somali is not a fighter, so anytime something happens, he runs away like it's, you know, Tom and Jerry, and usually he doesn't get very far because he's also not athletic, so he still gets an ass beating, just more like across like a block as opposed to in one location. So I'll show you another one of those in a moment. But I do think there is a case where Johnny Somali might be trying to collect fists like Infinity Stones, like it's somehow going to make him stronger. Or maybe it's like that classic shit you see in anime where a character consumes poison in order to build up an immunity to it over time. Johnny's doing that with punches. He's trying to get punched so many times that he becomes immune to them in the future.
내병변 장애 있어. Not the fat off your face.
이 새끼 내병변 장애 있나 봐.
What's up?
때렸다. 레전드.
Once again, I had to cut out the impact as well as the ensuing fight. Not with Johnny Somali. Johnny Somali, whenever he gets into a confrontation, he goes like fetal position, but this guy 1v3 Johnny and his friends. So after he stormed Johnny and gave him like a fucking flying kick, Johnny, of course, sprints away, and then he's not fast or anything, so he easily gets taken down further up the road. They throw him to the ground. He continues to get fed his desserts here. And then one of Johnny's friends also starts just getting manhandled by this guy. And it's just a beautiful 1v3 where Johnny and his friends just get blasted. It's so good. And one thing that's just a classic Johnny Somali move is he likes to pretend he is the victim when that happens, even though he is the instigator. So before this clip happened, it was Johnny threatening them. Like, people don't like Johnny, so they'll go, of course, like, tell him, get the fuck out, stop being racist and all of that. And Johnny will usually just keep trying to elevate confrontation in order to, you know, stir the pot and hope that something like this happens. And then when it does, he's like, oh, this is ridiculous. I've got it all on camera. It's so pathetic.
Put this in your next YouTube documentary. I don't give a fuck.
Korean niggas is weak as
Swing on it. I was waiting for him to swing on Johnny. I was waiting, bro. I was waiting for him to
We're ready, Reddit, Twitter, come.
I wanted to stop when this
Hank is here tonight. We're not scared.
Go to Johnny's favorite.
Oh, another beautiful one. You can see him like charging that punch up coming. He's giving him that why I oughta right before delivering the punch. And then his friend, who was talking a big game about, I was waiting for them to swing, just sits there and goes, literally pogs out on him. It's so good. Also, like I said, Johnny and his friends did get 1v3'd. Not in this instance. This was a totally separate ass beating. There's just been so many. They did get 1v3'd. So the guy that was waiting for someone to swing did get someone to swing. Didn't go so well. It did not work out super well for him, I don't believe. Anyway, though, those are like the main clips of Johnny getting attacked, and they're just such a joy to watch. I don't know how that doesn't put a smile on your face, seeing an absolute insufferable douchebag, actually evil person getting beat up for it. Who doesn't love that? That's some happy stuff. Now let's talk about him potentially facing 10 years in prison. Now, what kicked things off in a big way was Johnny doing his classic degeneracy, getting kicked off a subway, causing a scene in a convenience store, also just antagonizing people around him, not mentioned here, but that's most of what his content is, and then sparked big outrage by kissing the Statue of Peace, which is a monument to victims of sexual slavery. He did more than that as well. Also, that doesn't really encompass what he was doing. It was beyond disrespectful what Johnny was doing throughout South Korea, and eventually that led to many South Koreans wanting to just take matters into their own hands. There was even a bounty put up on him for information so they could find him and keep beating his ass, which had me giggling really hard when I learned about that. They actually had like a 3-kill streak UAV online so they could keep tracking Johnny and keep giving him wet willies and beating him up. So then he eventually got investigated by South Korean parliament, and that restricted him from leaving the country because he's now facing charges of assault and narcotics use. Apparently, South Korea is very strict when it comes to drug use, so possession or use of illegal drugs can result in a sentence of up to 10 years in jail or a $72,000 fine. Meanwhile, the assault can carry a maximum penalty of 2 years and a $3,000 fine. And this is just a little tidbit that Dexerto threw in at the end here. Should the case go to trial, this would be his second time in court in an Asian country. After his trial in Japan, Somali admitted to lying to the judge, claiming he wasn't making any money streaming and was filming documentaries. I can only hope that South Korea will not be as lenient as Japan was with this absolute worm. He flexed, openly bragging about how he got let off easy in Japan. And his lying. It's actually crazy. I hope South Korea plays some hardball with him here and doesn't give him an inch. He is going to keep doing this across the globe. He's not going to stop. Do the world a favor. Lock him the fuck up. Please, Jesus. I mean, it's for his own safety, really. Like, it really is in the best interest of Johnny Somali to be in jail. Because anytime he's out of jail, all he does is just keep getting pummeled into the ground. So anyway, just wanted to talk about this a little bit. That's it. So yep. Over the last couple days, I just haven't been able to decide if it was a good idea to talk about this publicly or not. I've been more back and forth on this than a student driver learning how to parallel park. I just feel like this topic is one where even mentioning it makes it more of a problem. Kind of like the Bye-Bye Man, where even just saying his name gives him power. But ultimately, this is a topic that I've covered on this channel many times over the last 3 or 4 years. I've been keeping my finger on the pulse of this entire AI deepfaking industry. So there's actually quite a bit I'd like to say on the subject. You already know where this is going. You can already see the train tracks and where the rails are heading. We're talking about the Atrioc situation, which I'm very confident the majority of you have seen by now. Atrioc is a very popular streamer, and earlier this week, he made a big blunder. He was streaming, and during his stream, there was a split second where he showed his tabs. And unlike the many other streamers that have come before him that have made this same mistake where they show something embarrassing, or they show, like, porn and get banned for 3 days for it, Atrioc's case is a little more unique because the tab he showed was porn, but it was AI deepfaked porn of his streaming coworkers. The image only jump scared the stream for about a second, but the ramifications from this are going to last much longer. Of course, this happened publicly, so I suppose Atrioc felt the need to defend himself publicly, which led to a very tearful and very uncomfortable stream where he was apologizing and explaining everything while his wife was in the background during all of it. And he was going over the situation, explaining that one night at 2 a.m. he was on Pornhub, perusing the old tube there, and he clicked on one of the ads, which immediately blew my mind and probably everyone else's mind in the world that anyone clicks on ads on any site, let alone porn sites. That's just asking for malware, virus, Trojan, or just having your whole fucking computer explode. But he said morbid curiosity got the best of him. He saw an ad for AI deepfake porn. He clicked on it and then paid for it. He paid for access to the deepfaked porn, and it was of some of his streaming colleagues, which of course is a very big problem. That's weird, creepy, and pretty disgusting stuff. I think everyone can agree with that. He did follow this up last night with a written apology, going more in depth on everything and talking about the action he's going to take to improve, as well as stepping away from his company off-brand. And I'm going to go ahead and let everyone know, in case you don't know, Atrioc and I have collaborated on projects over the last year a couple times. We've talked quite a bit. I do consider him a friend, so when all this happened, I was extremely disappointed. Now, since this happened a couple days ago, it's already ancient history on the internet. Everyone's already given their take and talked about this situation, so I don't really have anything to add to the whole Atrioc discussion that someone hasn't already said. It is very clearly a pretty gross and creepy thing to have done, especially because it's not just morbid curiosity that you just clicked on something and saw it. You clicked on it, you paid for it, knowing what you were about to see, and then got it. And then it also stayed open in the tabs. Like, all of that is very bad, alarming shit. I'm not really here to just keep focusing on the Atrioc situation itself or like dunking on the stream. I actually want to talk about AI deepfaked porn directly, because I've actually talked about this quite a bit over the last couple years, and now what Atrioc has done is he's opened the can of worms and shown a lot more people just how far along AI deepfaking technology has come in the porn industry. He was kind of like the lightning rod, the catalyst to open people's eyes to this kind of degeneracy that's existed for a few years now. This whole situation almost worked out like a hashtag ad, like a sponsored stream segment, because the traffic to that site exploded as a result of this whole story. Now, the site has been shut down, and rightfully so. I'll also briefly tackle the damaged Coomer brains that are somehow defending this as like a normal, not awful thing. They're saying, like, it's not even their real body, why do they care, this is fucking stupid, it's not illegal. It actually is illegal in a few states, but even just setting aside the legality of it, how could you possibly make a sane argument to justify taking people that don't do sexual content and putting them in sexual content anyway, without their permission, consent, or even knowledge that it exists, and then you're selling it to people to jerk off to? Like, can you not see how that's a huge violation? Building an entire career without ever touching sexual content and then still being sold as sexual content by somebody else and using other people's bodies on yours as if it is yours? How can you possibly not see how fucked up that is? The argument that I've heard time and time again is it's not their real body, why do they care? Well, it's because it is indistinguishable from being a real photo or real video because the technology is so fucking advanced. That would be like if someone took a picture or a video of you with a really tiny wiener and sent it around your entire university to make fun of you, or posted it underneath every single one of your tweets saying, "This you," and it's your tiny wiener with like a banana in your butt. No one's going to know if it's real or fake because the technology is so good. Unless you pay very close attention to like hands and feet, but they're also smart with that. In a lot of the photos and videos, they don't show the hands or feet anymore because they know the technology hasn't mastered it. So you really have no way of knowing if it's true or false. And even if you try and debunk that, let's say you're getting harassed by a bully that's deep faking small wieners on all your pictures and underneath all of your tweets. Let's say you're like, you know what, fuck it, I'm tired of it. Here's my real dick and it's 9 inches of steel and glory. Well, now they can just say, you deep fake that, that's not your real penis. You will never be able to prove what's real and fake. Thus, it's totally irrelevant whether or not it's their actual bodies or not, because it doesn't matter. They didn't consent to it, A, which is a huge issue that for some reason people are downplaying. They didn't consent to it or give permission to the site to deepfake porn of them. And B, no one's going to know if it's real or fake if someone just starts posting that places like, oh, here's an OnlyFans leak of this streamer, but you didn't know they had a secret OnlyFans. You wouldn't know. Thus, it's a terrible fucking thing all around. These streamers don't do sexual content, thus, that's why the AI deepfake porn of them exists. If they did do sexual content, it would be redundant. You could just go to their OnlyFans or their Pornhub page. So it's targeting completely innocent women in this industry that don't do anything sexual and still making it sexual for the sake of squeezing some doubloons out of some desperate porn-addicted losers that are frothing at the mouth to get porn of their favorite streamer. That's not normal and that's not acceptable behavior. Again, these are streamers that didn't consent to it, give their permission, know it existed, and they are still being sold sexual content of them that they never produced or had any hand in is being sold to fucking creepy losers. It should be super easy for anyone to understand why people are rightfully upset about all of this whole situation. And let's extend this to a bigger scope. Let's talk about this from a business sense. Businesses have gone full Weenie Hut Jr. I lost a major partnership because I made a dirty song. Now imagine the career problems that can unfold from AI deepfake porn being made of these people. Having that somehow find its way to advertisers or brands they work with could create real issues, even though they've done nothing wrong. They've never made sexual content, they've never done any of the things in the videos or the photos, but it doesn't matter because it still is so indistinguishable from being authentic. It should be very obvious why this is a fucking big problem. Now, I do really want to mention that while every victim in this case was a woman because Atrioc had paid for the female streamer's content, it does exist for men as well, and it has for quite some time. It is obviously more prevalent in women because more people are going to look for AI deepfake porn of women on the internet than men, and you'd be stupid to try and argue the opposite. But it is worth noting that this isn't just a woman-specific issue. This does exist for men. There is a ton of deepfake porn of me, for example. And I want to touch on the actual AI deepfaking and everything regarding that itself. You may remember, if you've been around the channel for a few years, I actually told the story of the day I became alerted to this industry. It was just an innocent, ordinary, normal afternoon, and then someone sent me a message talking about a fake Charlie porn video that was floating around. So I clicked it, and it was a deepfake of me giving a dual hand job. So I was skiing with some wieners here, grabbing 2 penises in each hand. And this is when AI deepfaking was still pretty new, so it was primitive, a bit archaic, it wasn't convincing, it was floating around as like a very self-aware joke, and it made me giggle. And then another one popped up shortly thereafter of me giving myself a foot job, I think, and the physics of it were crazy. I mean, it looked like a PlayStation 1 malfunctioning cutscene. Like, there were quite a few AI deepfake pornos of me, and I thought nothing of it other than, wow, this is goofy. But I did at least want to keep my eye on it because I knew, as everyone does with technology, it only gets more and more sophisticated. So fast forward to 2023. We're at a point where AI deepfaking is so impressive that only a few days ago, a picture of 4 women in bra and panties went viral on Twitter with dudes drooling over them, and then it was revealed that that was all AI generated and none of those women existed, and people's minds were blown. It's no longer like this goofy thing where it looks like fucking terrible Photoshop. It's a very convincing tool. So obviously some bad actors are making porn out of people that don't do sexual content and selling it as authentic. They're not selling it as AI deepfaked porn most of the time. A lot of these companies are selling it as like leaks or look at what just dropped in this special Discord server of this person. And then they're selling AI deepfake porn of people that don't do that. So it's not even being marketed as a deepfake by most of the companies out there at the moment. And a lot of people are none the wiser because of just how convincing and how real it is. Obviously, all of it is being made without the people's permission or their consent for this kind of content to be made. But it doesn't matter. It's spawned an entire industry out of people exploiting it and using it for this financial gain and this really seedy, shitty, shady, weird community that has grown from it. And I don't have a spicy take on all of it where it's like, pull yourself up by your own bootstraps, that's the price of being on the internet. Because I don't think that should be the price of being on the internet. Having to just have porn of you always exist, even when you don't do porn. Just like fucking deep-faked revenge porn or whatever, like, that shouldn't be the cost of doing business online. It should be illegal, and in 3 states it is. Hopefully that grows as the technology does, where they start making it illegal pretty much everywhere to deepfake fucking porn of people. But yeah, it's a pretty awful situation, and it's a pretty complicated one. I do think a lot of the streamers are taking the right approach of getting the sites that are hosting these things and producing these things taken down. That is absolutely the correct play. 100%. It's not like what they're doing is okay, and I don't understand the fucking weirdos that are defending it. So yeah, just wanted to talk about the whole AI situation here with the deep fakes, and that's about it. So yeah.
How did my whole speech about how I need subs to get the stream going if you like the content, blah, 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 how that results in 0 subs? There are regulars here. $5 a month. How do you have hours of time to watch me? and not $5. I don't know. What are you doing with your life where you have hours of time to watch Twitch and not $5 to provide for the content that you're watching? Because it's like people just really really don't respect me as a content creator.
Well, this Parasite's right about one thing: nobody respects her as a content creator. Now, I'm not going to mention this streamer by name because I'm pretty sure she loves negative publicity. She does fucked up shit all the time just to get her name out there. She subscribes to the idea that all publicity is good publicity, but fails to realize that when you as a person are your own brand and rely on people liking you for money, having a negative public image literally fucking ruins you. And this one is definitely bigger than she anticipated because no one likes someone this shamelessly greedy. She is a streamer who runs political talk shows, but the majority of the stream is spent begging and shaming people into giving her money. And it's some of the most pathetic shit I've seen on Twitch, and I've seen a lot of pitiful, sad shit on Twitch. I saw a man finger his butthole for a $20 donation on Twitch, and I still have more respect for that than I do her. At least him sticking his fingers in his asshole was more fun than all of her streams combined. And somehow him putting nearly his whole fist in his chocolate starfish was still classier than any of this girl's streams. At least he had the decency to not shame the viewers into giving him $20 for sticking fingers up his brown balloon knot. He wasn't on stream going, hello, you broke cheap-ass viewers. I'm sitting here with my beautiful asshole goat seed into the camera, and nobody's giving me $20. My speech about giving me $20 and I'll finger my asshole didn't give me any money. What the fuck is wrong with you? He was very simple about it. He's like, you know what, $20 and I'll finger this asshole right here. You don't have to do it, but if you do, I'll fucking finger myself. And that's how it went. She's over here making a whole song and dance about it, making everyone just feel fucking uncomfortable, and she feels so entitled to their money, which she absolutely doesn't deserve. She provides no value whatsoever. You might as well just flush $5 down a toilet. That's more value than giving it to this girl.
Expecting and blah, blah, blah. Like, how are you consuming this free entertainment? Like, how do you think free entertainment is available to you? It's because other people actually provide money so you can be a cheap ass. That's it. Other people provide money because they're generous and they see like a thing that they want to support, a form of entertainment they want to support, and then you leech. But that's the reality of it, period. Period. If you're watching Twitch as a non-donating, non-sub, you are leeching. Does that mean that you should feel bad about it? I don't know. But the reality is that you are leeching.
Such a laughable sense of entitlement, especially when she has no talent at all. Also, she's not making $0 from viewers that watch her for free. Twitch itself places an ad at the beginning of your stream, so when someone clicks on your stream, you're getting money just from that click. And I'm pretty sure she plays ads throughout her streams, which also gets her money from viewers that aren't donating or subbing to her. So I don't know why the fuck she thinks she possibly has the right to complain about not getting an extra $5 from people that either can't afford to or just don't want to because she isn't earning that $5. And she absolutely isn't earning that $5. All she does is insult the chat. She doesn't provide anything at all of value, and I'm pretty sure she hates streaming and only does it to just try and get money out of viewers or guilt them into giving her money, which is super shitty. I'd say 95% of all streamers, myself included, I stream daily on Twitch at twitch.tv/moistcritical. Come stop by if you want to put a few extra inches on your penis. I'd say 95% of all streamers do it just because they love streaming. I know I do. I don't think the majority of streamers are going around just constantly begging for subs and donations, but I know there definitely are a few, her being the biggest culprit, but I'd say the majority of streamers aren't like that.
Chat! I haven't got a donation or a sub for an hour. What the fuck? For an hour? What the fuck? An hour when I fucking working for free? What the fuck?
What a horrible, embarrassing perspective for someone to take on something like this. She has the worst possible attitude. I'm not going to go into her disgusting past. She's done a lot of really fucked up shit and said some fucked up shit. But just this perspective of hers that she is so adamant about, where if you are not paying her, you are a piece of shit. She calls you names, she calls you out by your screen name if she sees you're not subbed. She is the most standoffish, unlikable person on that platform. And it's gotta be kind of embarrassing to be a subscriber to this girl because she's openly hostile and doesn't give a fuck about it, only there to siphon $5 out of your wallet every month because she feels entitled to it, as if you're just holding her money for her because you flip on her stream to fall asleep to it once every 3 months. But yeah, this narcissist is probably the greediest person on Twitch. She's like the Mr. Krabs of streaming, but not nearly as cool as Mr. Krabs because she has a shitty personality, a horrible attitude, and the worst perspective on things on that entire platform.
And the reason why this is getting retweeted and liked so much is because she's an attractive woman who didn't act like a nice person, which is what makes sexually frustrated incels angry. Woman not acting, woman out of her place, me mad.
Yeah, this hero decides to make it an issue about her being a woman, despite the fact that that is irrelevant to why people don't like it. It's because people don't like someone that says shit like that, and it is that greedy and that disrespectful and that entitled. It has nothing to do with her being a woman. But this guy's trying to score some of those brownie points. Oh, streamer, please look at me fight for you on Twitter. Please let down your long hair so I may take my $5 and climb up and woo you over. It's also really cute that Mike over here decides to call everyone that disagrees with her perspective an incel when he himself is like the fucking king of incels. Check out his first interaction with the streamer.
That's fine. I think that's fine. So if a guy pays for my tab,
I think I'm getting your attention. I feel like I touched like a vampire touching holy water.
can I help you?
Well, I think they want to go in.
Okay.
Whoa there, Mike. I think you made her a little too wet with that alpha energy. Yeah, man, you've definitely got a lot of room to be tossing the word incel around, huh? With game like that? What a fucking player. Great work, Mike. There are people sticking up for her, of course. Buyer's remorse. They've already paid for the subscription, and now they feel like they need to justify it to everyone in the world. Like what you like who you like. It's totally fucking fine. But there's very clear reasons why people don't like what she said that have nothing to do with her being a woman, Mike. It has to do with her attitude and her disrespect and that sense of entitlement that she thinks everyone has to fucking pay her to watch her, and then she guilts them into it and shames them and makes them fucking feel bad and attacks them for it, which is wrong, Mike. It's just fucking wrong, and it's shitty. It's a bad look and it's pathetic. But anyway, yeah, that's about it. So yeah. Last night I got sent a clip that made me extremely angry. It's a clip of a streamer playing Madden 21 with his child on his lap, and then he did poorly in the game, like he missed a first down catch or something, and he just went full fucking primal caveman and smashed his controller on the desk, which made his kid start crying and made him even angrier. So then he throws his kid on the chair and then yells at the kid because he's doing shitty in the game. Right away, him playing Madden 21 tells me he already makes bad decisions, but to broadcast your child abuse on Twitch is a really fucking wild one to do. I'll play the clip for you now, but I just want to give a fair warning. I think it's pretty hard to watch, so just keep that in mind, but I think it's important to see how big of a piece of shit this guy is.
God damn it! Fucking $300 fucking controller! Yo, can I fucking press pause? Just sit right here. Stop. I gotta go, yo. I'm about to fucking lose it, yo. Shut the fuck up!
No, your computer isn't lagging, nor is the video itself. This pathetic worm just streams using a dial-up connection that he's probably stealing, so the frame rate's dog shit, and he has a $300 controller apparently, but a 30-cent internet connection and webcam. The webcam looks like you're trying to watch censored hentai. It's so fucking pixelated. But hey, that's just his style, baby. Child abuse in 360p. Really sad shit all around. Like I said, I think it's pretty hard to watch. Now, he didn't, like, throw the child, like, he didn't go in there and, like, slam dunk the kid into the chair or anything, or spike it like a football in Madden. But to aggressively throw the child down and then scream in his face is nothing shy of horrible parenting and genuine child abuse, I think. I think most people would agree with that, except for a couple of really battle-hardened Twitter users with their furry porn avatars and anime profile pics saying that it's not child abuse and they went through similar things and loved their parents and it made them stronger, and that you're just a bunch of pussies these days if you can't take your parents yelling at you in your face because they got very sad and salty at a fucking sports video game. I think it's definitely child abuse. 100% in my opinion. Like, I think there's really no argument there. I feel extremely sorry for the child. The father is a worthless hemorrhoid. Going into this full fucking meltdown mode and tantrum over just doing poorly in a sports video game is just the highest level of pitiful I could imagine. I don't remember exactly what his wording was, but in his little Twitch slogan, the little sentence or paragraph under the stream to let you know about the streamer, he said something like, "Being a loving father and supreme turbo gaming ultimate gamer warrior is my mission in life." I'd definitely say that is a complete mission failure. I don't know what it is about sports games. There must be some kind of curse on the genre. It just brings out the demon in people. It's fucking pathetic shit, though. The good news is he's been banned from Twitch, and he's, like, deleted all his social media and shit. I don't know if this is true, but apparently his wife actually kicked him out because of this, so that's good that she's taking action to protect the child from him. Because if he's gonna melt down like this over something as trivial as a Madden game against the fucking computer, he's not even playing a real person, he's playing the fucking AI and going into this, like, nuclear explosion meltdown of anger. He's not safe to be around. Again, I don't know if that's true or just some kind of Twitter fan fiction, but what is true is fucking sports gamers are a different kind of salty in their game. It reminds me of the plot of Kingsman when Valentine put the chips in the phones that make people mindlessly kill each other to get the world's population down. I feel like Valentine could have done the same thing by just making everyone play Madden. They would have been at each other's throats and the world would have been in chaos. But yeah, anyway, this clip just made me really upset and I wanted to just kind of talk about it a little bit and let people know that it's not okay. I don't know why there's like kind of a decently sized portion of people on Twitter arguing that what he did is perfectly justified and the kid may have had it coming because the kid impeded his ability to play the game properly. Like, it's crazy. Twitter is the most wild fucking place I've ever seen in my entire goddamn life. There are other people arguing like, you can't say he's a bad father, you're only seeing a 40-second clip. He could be one of the world's best fathers who just had a slip-up. You stupid shit stain. This isn't a slip-up. A slip-up was when you accidentally say damn or shit around a child. Not, oh, my controller died. Time to go scream in the face of a baby. That's not a fucking slip-up. It makes you a psychopath and a terrible father. You can absolutely say, this man is a horrible father based on this clip and this clip alone. This is abuse. It's not just a mistake. He is abusive. And he broadcast it. I can absolutely say that with a high degree of confidence because it is right fucking there. I don't know why people are victim-blaming an actual baby. It's so Twitter-like. I mean, it's so in line with Twitter, it's impressive. No matter how dumb the fucking take you can think of is, you will find it on Twitter and find people that wholeheartedly believe it. Twitter is just, it's crazy. What a crazy cesspool of degenerate scum. Fucking nuts. A mistake! Oh no, don't get mad at this father, he just made a mistake in a heated gamer moment. So fucking stupid. What's next? Gonna start excusing people for beating their wives? Ah, he lost his Madden game. It only makes sense that he went and put his hands on his wife. It's Twitter, just there's no end to how low they'll stoop with the dumbest fucking takes imaginable. But yeah, anyway, I just wanted to talk about this because it was really, really frustrating. It made me extremely mad to see. And I do hope the story with the wife kicking him out of the house is true. And really happy to see the quick action Twitch took in banning him, so that's also very good. And yeah, really, that's about it. See ya. It's baffling how common it is for people to live stream their most embarrassing moments on purpose. They're filming their own lowlights, their own worst ofs for the montage of shame. Things most people would want buried forever, they are proudly with a smile on their face broadcasting to their audience for content. Today, an extremely trashy stream clip has gone viral with a streamer named Elisa Jordana firing up a live stream after learning that her boyfriend has been cheating on her. I'm going to go through most of what happens in the stream, but the clip everyone's seen, which we'll get to towards the end, is at the very end of the stream. It's about 2 hours and 20 minutes. She gets her boyfriend in the car, and then she starts attacking him while she's driving. So she starts physically hitting him. And then she hits him very hard in the nose, like a full-blown strike to the nose, like a fucking monk's palm strike to his nose. It was quite a wallop. Like, if she was playing that boxing bag game that you see at bars where it measures your punch and it like grades your force up to 999, she probably would have scored like a 700 with that strike. So it definitely could have caused some damage. She threatens to kill him, and then she continues to escalate it. She grabs on his ear and starts pulling on it, and then he starts fighting back. So he starts fighting her. He starts yanking on her hair, telling her to stop the car, and she does stop the car. He continues yanking and pulling on her. She gets out of the car. He gets out of the car, chases her down, and then he gets back in the car and turns the stream off. Without a doubt, one of the worst live streams I can think of in recent memory. It's hard to watch. It's awful. It's crimes. Like, you're watching crimes unfold.
He lied so much to me. He lied so much to me. And he lied and he told her, like, he told her I'm just like a streamer and it was just an investment. And like the whole time he was talking to me, he was talking to her. The whole time.
Gadzooks, what in the fuck would possibly possess you to want to start a live stream after learning something so heavy? That makes no sense. How poisoned must your brain be to possibly come up with an idea like this? Learning that your boyfriend has been cheating on you, and then immediately turning it into a stream for content? That's incomprehensible. I don't understand why people want to broadcast every single waking moment of their lives to a bunch of strangers online, a ton of goobers who are just going to sit back tossing popcorn down their gullet because it's just entertainment to them, even though it's your life that's being ruined in real time. Why do that? Fucking Jack Bauer couldn't torture me enough to force me to go live after learning something like this. He could put all the jumper cables he wants on my nipples and scrotum. I still wouldn't do it because it's a horrible thing to want to put out there. I couldn't even imagine just firing up the stream. Hey guys, this one's going to be a little bit different than usual. Turns out she's getting piped by another man right now. They're steaming ham as we speak. Oh, thanks for the $6. Charlie's girl is slobbering on my neat. Ha ha ha.
And sending her money on Venmo.
Yeah, but why are you surprised?
I'm not surprised, Brandon. I'm not surprised. Actually, I'll go to Tanger's Outlets right here.
I just don't get why you would cry over him, dude. Like, you already got money. You already supposedly got money from him.
I did, but he still was very bad, Brandon.
Yeah, so what do you think would happen if you're going to marry him, this and that?
I'm not marrying him, Brandon. I'm obviously not marrying him.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you...
She then goes for this joyride, or lack thereof joy, and it's the most distracted driving I've ever seen. No exaggeration. She doesn't even pretend to be paying attention to the road. She is glued to her phone or reading the chat, I believe, because she does get donations. She has text-to-speech enabled, so she is getting donations throughout this stream. And she is always looking at something other than the road. That is extremely dangerous, not only to herself, but all of the people on the road around her. And you can see that she busts out that crazy U-turn and gets honked at because that came out of fucking nowhere like a jump scare to all the other drivers. This is just, it's unhinged. This is, again, unacceptable. It's illegal. You can't be driving like this. I understand she's upset after finding out her partner's been unfaithful. Anyone in the world would feel the same way. But not many people in the world would handle it the way she is, by starting up a fucking live stream for people to be tuned in on with everything. Not only is she very dangerously behaving here on the road, but then she then starts just dropping all kinds of personal information publicly. Just publicly revealing a lot of things that 100% should stay private.
Why is that a no? Okay, I'm gonna go to Tanger's Outlet actually with his card right now. All right, let's do that. Tanger's Outlet. Let's go on a shopping spree.
Hope you find your way home. 48 JSK.
Not that much money left. Should I spend this money? Sparrows for everyone?
Another lore dump for you for why she drove to the mall here. It's because she had his wallet and stated she wanted to go on a bit of a shopping spree with his cards. And then on stream, she actually opens his wallet and shows his driver's license and says, should I drop his cards in the Discord? So threatening to also just show his cards to her community. She then takes money out of his wallet and says, should I buy food for everyone? Those are all crimes. Again, you're compiling evidence against yourself. You're doing the police's job for them. You are actually showcasing criminal activity. Now, unless I miss something, she doesn't actually spend any of his money. She doesn't actually use any of his cards there. She just makes the threats that she could and would do so. She does, however, actually open his wallet, and you can see his driver's license clearly because she's bouncing it around like something out of the Disney Channel. So you can see that, but I don't think you can make out any of his other cards. But regardless, this whole thing should have never been put online. I don't know why she made the decision to start streaming this. Again, she does have text-to-speech donations enabled, so it's possible that this is all just to get some, like, money from people that are sympathizing with her because she's going through something horrible. Getting cheated on sucks. But the way she's handling it is fucking awful. She's distracted driving, dangerously putting other people's lives at risk on the road, threatening to commit some criminal actions live. And then it ends with her assaulting him, physically assaulting him live. Like, this is a horrible fucking stream.
And he thought, oh, Discord's stupid. A lot of people say that, right? So all of Scora's private information, as well Sarah's phone number, Sarah's address, her full name, her Venmo account, transactions, are all
James donated $5. Girl, is your Mexican girl hot?
It sounds as though Elisa has fully doxed the guy and the girl here, posting all of their private information in her Discord, which is illegal. You can't do that. I also think it's worth mentioning, since you caught a glimpse of it there, anytime that girl, Sarah, is brought up during this stream, both Elisa and the community of pay piggies that's donating to her always make sure to mention that she's Mexican. And they make statements in the chat about that as well. Throughout the stream, reading the chat, there were so many moments of genuine racism, it was fucking sickening.
I called Sarah, you fucking bitch. I'm gonna fucking kill you. I'm fucking kill you. It's okay. Sorry.
You had hit him in my presence.
Okay, I'm not gonna talk about the bad topic.
Well,
I think
I can talk about it.
No, I said I'm gonna stop talking about it.
Okay, good. No, it's not okay.
You ever been cheated on for 2 years with a 20-year-old Mexican?
I doubt it. Getting into my business.
Okay, all right, well, I'm just telling you that's my business. I really don't want to talk to you.
This happened shortly before the viral clip from this stream where she starts hitting him in the car. So prior to them getting in the vehicle, she pushed him outside, and it was actually observed by someone who confronted her about it, because in this instance, her violent outburst was in broad daylight in view of public and bystanders. So someone came up to her, I believe it was an officer, and talked to her about it, and even during this talk, Elisa still finds a way to mention that the other girl is Mexican.
Hello? Hi, Sarah, how are you? How are you, Sarah? Hi. Thanks so much for calling. I'm just gonna send you like 6 months of texts of your nudes and, you know, different sentences that he...
Sarah, I'm sorry about this.
Don't talk. Don't fucking talk.
Idiot.
Yes, Sarah, we're really sorry about this. I'm sending him your way today.
Fucking...
Yeah. No, so Bahram, how do you pronounce it? Do you know? I don't know.
Shut the fuck up, cunt.
Yeah, what's up?
She's half your age. She's half your age.
Delete the number, please.
I cut out the ending here because it's a lot. Like, even this much, I don't even know if YouTube will allow me to show. I'm really not sure. It's legitimate assault. So she hits him a couple of times, the nose hit by far being the biggest blow. And then after where I cut it off, he grabs her hair and starts yanking and pulling on her, and she starts talking about how he's killing her, and the car stops, and then eventually she gets out of the car, he chases her down. I think she gets in another vehicle in the background, and then he comes back into the car and turns the stream off. It's a horrifying thing to watch, to be honest. As of right now, Elisa has been arrested. Her mugshot and booking information is all out there for this incident. There's no update on the guy or what's going on with that part of all of this, but what a fucking awful live stream. Now on Twitter, there's been a lot of debate about this video on whether or not the man's actions were justified in this situation, and most people are saying that they were, claiming that he was acting in self-defense. And it seems like the law would agree with them on that take, because from everything I can find, he hasn't been booked or charged with anything. Now, I think it's important we remember that the guy in this video is no saint. He cheated on his significant other. That is the behavior of a piece of shit. But under no circumstances does anyone deserve to be beaten like this. He's not a good guy, but he is still the victim of an assault. And I think all of the video evidence suggests that this was a case of self-defense. He didn't lash out at her or strike at her until she went in again for like the third or fourth time, assaulting him. And then he did fight back. Now, I do think there is a case to be made that he may have taken it too far, because he does yank and pull on her for quite some time, even once the car comes to a complete stop. So I think he probably could have gotten out of the car at that point and just left it entirely, left the situation entirely, but I also don't know the entire situation on where it was stopped, if it may have been dangerous to do so, I don't know. But overall, I do agree that this does seem to be him defending himself, like, from getting attacked in this vehicle. Overall, this was a fucking awful live stream. And I really don't think this is going to be the last of its kind that we see, because it feels like it's getting more and more common with people wanting to live stream every moment of their lives, even the worst parts of it. So there'll probably be more things like this in the future, which sucks. I think it's just an awful direction, but just wanted to talk about this. That's about it. See ya.